You will not let life beat you down, because that is not it girl behavior. Get up. Can y'all really believe that the year is coming to an end? I feel like we always have this feeling every year, but it's like, wow, 2025 just started and it's already coming to an end. That's crazy. Wow, this is really the fourth quarter of the year, and how we show up right now, or better yet, at any moment, any given moment, how we start showing up really shows how we are leading into the next year. It really shows how the next year will look, or how that step will look for us. And it's like, what better reason is to start now? Like, why would we wait? Now, why would my alarm go off one moment? And I'm like, why should we wait to the end of the year to start a new habit? Or, once the new year hits, like, that's so old. I feel like we all know now. You can start at any given moment. But if y'all want to start 90 days from the new year, that's low-key kind of cool, because you can take on any challenge. You know what I'm saying? You can do a Q4 challenge. You can do a 75 hard. You can do a lot of things and walk into the new year as the person that you want 2026 to look like. And we're not carrying any of those bad habits that are just like pulling us down into the next year. We're not doing that, sis. So today I'm going to talk about becoming that girl, the it girl, whatever that may be to you, that archetype might be called to you. We're going to talk about it, and we're going to pull these principles straight from the Bible, Proverbs 31 to be exact. Let's get into it. Regardless to what you believe in, or the religion that you are in, or who you serve, even the Bible itself is just such a great book, and it has so much knowledge within it. Nevertheless, let's hop right into it. And when I studied Proverbs 31, these were the 11 traits/characteristics that I see as an awesome guideline to becoming the best version of yourself just as a woman. Quality number 1 is an abundant mindset. And when I say an abundant mindset, I'm going to tell you what's not an abundance mindset, and then give you an example of an abundance mindset. Because one thing I've noticed that in a society is that we kind of cover up poor stewardship for the sake of calling it an abundance mindset. And here's my example. I actually talked about this on my TikTok, but nevertheless, for instance, I was in the store one day and I was looking at bags or whatnot. I just wanted to get myself a treat, should I say, or a reward for something that I was working on over the month. And I'm like, okay, when I hit this goal, this is the bag I want. But I wanted to make sure I knew the exact bag I wanted, manifesting. And as I'm in the store, associate, she knows that I don't plan on buying anything today. And I made that abundantly clear because I didn't want her to pass up on any paying customers to tend to me. And we end up circling down to the bag that I want, got the price, this and that. And she was like, well, yeah, these bags really don't last that long. You sure you just don't want to put it on a credit card? And then we, whatever. And there's actually 2 lessons in that. Because for one, I could have bought the bag that day. I didn't need to put it on a credit card. But let's just say even if I didn't have the money, I was not willing to go in debt for a bag that was not an absolute necessity. It wasn't something that was just like an essential to my life. It wasn't going to make or break anything. That's not something that I personally was willing to go into debt for. Also, that would be poor stewardship of my finances if I went ahead and got that bag. And the one thing that the TikTok gurus or these manifestation gurus have told us, money comes back, it flows to me. And if you want this, just get it. There's no point in denying yourself and all this, that, and the third. It's like, no, that is an example of using an abundant mindset to cover a poor stewardship if I would have gotten that purse. Point blank, period. It was not a necessity. It was not money that I planned on spending that day. Especially, it was just not something that was just not FU money that would have been spent on that purse. Now, let me show you an example of an abundance mindset. It's so crazy because life will literally teach you that in the smallest of things. For example, one day I was in the house and I was folding up my clothes and I'm hanging everything. Well, I was hanging up my clothes, and as I'm hanging these clothes up, I end up running out of hangers, and I had a whole bunch of clothes that needed to be hung up. Now, I just got back to the house. I'm tired. I'm like, I'm not going to the store to go get any more hangers. So what I'm going to do right now is fold the rest of these clothes up. I'm going to put them somewhere else, make it look nice, make it look cute or whatever. And when it's time to get some hangers, I'll get some hangers. It's no big deal. But I know I'll have enough hangers in due time. That is an example of an abundance mindset, because just like I know what I want or what I needed, but I also knew what I had at this moment and what I could do at this moment. I know the hangers are somewhere and they're just waiting to come to me or waiting for me to go get it or whatever. When the time presents itself that I'll go get the hangers, like when I go to the store for something else, like, oh, I need some hangers, let me grab it or whatnot. But it just shows like with anything that you want in life, sometimes it doesn't mean just go out and go grab it right then or right now, or, you know, sometimes that doesn't mean you have to do it at the sacrifice of something or just be irresponsible when getting it. But you know that, hey, I'm going to have this in due time. Like, but for right now, I'm really grateful for what I got done. I'm grateful for what I have, and I'm going to move forward. And I just, you know, you expect, you know, abundance is having, like, you expect this, like, you know, it's like, it's undoubtedly, like, you know, you're not going to go without. It may not be right now in this moment in time, but, you know, in due time, it's there. It's coming. So I just wanted to keep that in the back of your head. Like, an abundance mindset does not mean, you know, poor stewardship or just doing things irresponsibly, but that means you do it with an expectation of, you know, more is coming. Like, you want more, you know more, and you know you're headed there. There's this undeniable thing that everything flows in the way it's supposed to flow. You're not sad. You're not moving out of lack. In fact, back to the bag situation, the woman tried to use lack to get me to budge and buy that bag by telling me, oh, this bag doesn't come by usually. Oh, it's just like so one of a kind. When I could have literally went to the store and like ordered that myself offline, but I digress. Our second point is a nurturer. And I know a lot of times when we talk about being nurturing, we tend to think of just like other people, but not just other people or even a significant other. You have to nurture yourself, your dreams, and the environment that you're in that's taking care of your body, your mind, heart, and soul in whatever way that looks, in whatever way that fits for you. By all means, you're going to pour into other people, but you also pour into yourself, because you cannot pour from an empty cup. People get your overflow. So take care of your body, take care of your mind, take care of your soul, whether that's going on a walk for 45 minutes, whether that is 5 minutes of meditation every day, or a book, or learning how to do a cartwheel, something that just makes you feel kid-like again, childlike again, should I say. That is what nurturing look like. Nurturing does not only look like taking care of your child or, you know, being there for everyone and not even being there for yourself and constantly draining yourself and giving to others to the point where you're at self-depletion. That is not nurturing. That's actually self-sabotage, to be honest. But again, I digress. Next quality is to be locked in or hardworking. And I know we see those words and be like, that's not feminine. Oh my gosh, what do you mean locked in? What do you mean hardworking? Somebody insert that Kim K clip.
Get your fucking ass up and work.
Oh, okay. Okay. But no, seriously. Locked in and hard working doesn't necessarily mean run yourself into the ground either, but there's going to be some days where you're going to be overwhelmed. There's going to be some days where purpose is not pleasurable. That's just what it is. There's going to be some discomfort in chasing your goals, or what should I say, attracting your goals, or building this life that you're after. There's going to be those moments, but those are the times where you show up the most. Those are the times where you sit in the discomfort. Those are the times where you embrace what it takes, because you know the fruit is coming. And sometimes you have to do it with no complaints. This is what's required of me. This is what's expected for me to reach to whatever, you know, for me to go to point A to B. This is what should be done. This is what I'm going to do. Point blank, period. When you get tunnel vision when it comes to certain aspects of your goals. Like, locked in means just doing something and becoming really good at it. That doesn't mean you have to wake up at 5 a.m. That doesn't mean that you are constantly swamped by 18 to 20 to 30 things to do a day. Like, that does not mean that. Locked in means you are dedicated. You are disciplined and dedicated to whatever it is, to whatever it takes to make that next step. One foot in front of the other. That's all. Trait number 4. She is positive. The woman you are trying to be is absolutely positive. Positive does not mean that it's rainbows and sunshine every day, per se. But it's just having good energy. You know, you don't have to be bitter, but you don't have to match anyone's energy. You are so grounded in who you are, in your perception of the world, that no one can sway that. That's what being positive is. You're optimistic. Even when you're in the thick of it, you know that greater is coming, or greater is here, and it's just a part of the process. But no one likes a negative Nancy. That's just point blank, period. Yes, you're gonna have your moments. You're gonna have days where you get sad. That's not that, but you don't stay there. You brush yourself off and you try again. Okay, that's it. That's all. Have an optimistic point of view. Don't be pessimistic. No one likes being around a pessimist, babe. Ooh, this one is actually one of my favorites, but number 5, she is an investor. You have to be able to be prudent and risk adverse. And I'm not just talking about money here. Let's get that clear. Every time we talk about investments, we all think it's just finances. While your finances are something that you should take very seriously, that should be the least of your worries, because financial success and freedom is a direct reflection of what's going on the inside. So you have to be an investor with your time, with your energy, and you make decisions because you're thinking about the long game, or how does this affect your life in XYZ. You have to be able to think forward when you are looking at things to place energy at. You know what I'm saying? Like, what is the output of this input? Is it impactful? How does this affect me on the day-to-day? Would this decision matter a year from now? Or is this aligned with how I see my life going, or the goal that I'm working towards or going for? If the answer is no, then maybe you should not invest in that. I'm just saying. But you have to be very particular about the friends that you bring around you, even the lover and the man that you are dealing with. Like, you have to be very, very particular about who you invest your time in, as well as the events you attend. Like, does this event align with the woman that I see myself as? Is this fun? Is this enjoyable? Does this really bring me pleasure? Or is this just an instant gratification thing that I just, You have to think about those kind of things, because that is just signs of someone who's very intentional with her time, with her money, with her relationships, be an investor. And then, just to piggyback off of that, the next quality is financial literacy. It's hot to be financially literate. It's sexy to know what to do with money. It is quite literally a superpower to be financially literate, especially as a woman, because anything that we receive as a woman, we multiply. So it's just like, oh my gosh, if you are financially literate and you're a woman, that money is going to multiply. It's going to grow. You're not just a spender. You're not only a consumer. You are a creator. You are a multiplier. You have God-given math to you. God does things exponentially, and you should be able to do the same thing. When it's all said and done, you're aware, you're strategic, and you understand proper stewardship. Now, number 7, this goes beyond the money, off the money track, and on a little bit more to the creative side, which is the whole point of this one. And trait number 7 is you have to be creative and resourceful. I actually hit on this a little bit in my video on how to start something from nothing, or how to start from scratch, one or the other. But as someone who literally had to build a life out of nothing but a vision, you have to learn how to be resourceful and creative. A lot of times, opportunities are not just going to fall in your lap. You have to go create these opportunities for you. And a lot of times, it's not that you literally build the opportunity out itself, but you place yourself in the rooms that you need to be placed with. You ask the questions that need to be asked, and you go around the people who have the answers to those questions. You have to be able to use what you have to build what you want. And a lot of times, you will send that message out to the world, and it will reflect right back to you. God will literally provide you with all the ingredients that you need to build your cake, and he'll give them to you at the right time. Like, sometimes, you might start off with just the flour and the salt. Okay, cool. Sift the flour, add in the salt. Oh snap, I just seen some baking soda come this way. Let me add a little baking soda here. Oh my gosh, I got eggs. Let me go ahead and beat these eggs. OMG, it's vanilla. Pour the vanilla in the eggs. That is how sometimes life works. You might not get all the ingredients at one time, but as time goes on and you take the steps and work with whatever ingredient that you have right now, and then everything else is going to come. I remember, for instance, there was a time when I wanted to go into college, and long story short, they're about to kick me out my dorm. And I was like, no, I'm staying in college. I don't know how I'm going to do it, how I'm going to get this money up. I went to every resource possible. I found first generation support. I went down to the student center. I went to my advisors. I went to everyone, and I cried. I told my story. I did this, I did that. But not only did I even ask for help, I went out and made my own help. I went home. I had $80 in my account. The bill was $3,200. I literally looked around like, what can I do? Boom. I was like, okay, I got these $80. I found, at this time, closures were really cheap. So I ended up finding 3 closures on AliExpress for like $60. So it left me with like $20. And then I ended up taking like 5, like I went and got like 3 caps for like $15. That was like, I had $5 left and spent the last $3 on some thread from my sewing machine. I literally went in my bathroom and found all the extra hair that I had. Sorry, y'all, that y'all looking at this now. But I literally went in my my bathroom and found the extra hair that I had from just like us. You know how we always have like that hair bag with all the extra hair or whatever. I did that. I bought those closures. I made wigs. I had whatever supplies I had at home. I was coloring these wigs, styling them, posting them or whatever. Those 3 wigs, I used that and I paid off my tuition bill. Like, I think I had to pay like half to stay. So I needed $1,600 ultimately. I literally I stayed up for like almost like a whole 24 hours making wigs on the sewing machine because that was more efficient. It would have took longer doing it by my hand. And I ended up offering wigs plus an install deal. It was back to school season. And guess what? Those wigs got gone by the grace of God and they were sold. And I stayed in school. I graduated in 4 years. But that was the kickstart of me knowing that, hey, when you are searching for an answer, the answers will find you. And on top of that, all those people that I went and cried to, somebody got back to me and they actually granted me with a few more grants and things to help cover my student bill. And later on that year, I ended up getting a scholarship from that same first generation resource program. So I say all this to say that you have to be resourceful. You got to be creative and know that it all works out for your good. But when the tough gets going, don't sit there and let the world beat you up. You figure out a way to move forward. Which leads me to the next point. You're not afraid of adversity. That's just a part of the game. Nothing is necessarily a cakewalk. There's going to be times where it gets hard. There's going to be times where life gives you a challenge, especially when you're moving to the next level, especially when you're changing your life, when you're changing your mindset. Your old self is not going to like that change. A part of the discomfort that comes with that is life challenging you to see, do she really want this? Like, you know how it just seems like that one thing keeps popping up every time you try to make a change? Yeah, that's the adversity that wants to see, do you really want it? Like, I want to know. So it's just like, I crack myself up sometimes. I'm not going to lie. Because like, what was that? If I was standing up, I probably But anyways, for real though, you know storms will come, but you have the mindset that you're built for it. Just point blank period. You're a bad mama jamma. I'm trying not to cuss you guys. Like, I'm her. What else is there to say? There's nothing that I can't withstand. The only thing that's in common between me and my problems is that I made it to the other side and the problem is gone. That's what it is. When you look at your life and you think about any adversity that you've been through, you realize the only thing that's literally constant is the fact that I made it to the other side, is that I'm still here. So I want you to know that adversity will come. Adversity will find you. But do you know that you are built for it? You will not sit in it. You will not wallow in it. You will not let life beat you down, because that is not it girl behavior. Get up. Seriously. 10. Oh, wait. Anyway, I don't even know what number we're on. I think we're on like 9. I like this one in particular because, yes, we know you're wise. We know the things it takes to be wise. Wisdom comes over time, by the way, and also just being a student of life. But this highlights your interactions with others. There's going to be times where you're going to have to lay boundaries down. Now, that doesn't mean that you have to do it in this manner where it's like authoritative to the point where you're just like harsh, oh, I just talk like that kind of friend. Like, no, it's okay to say, hey, that's not my forte. That may be yours. But when you are dealing with me, it's not acceptable. Done. You got a firmness to it, but I gently laid it down to you. That's real strength. For quality number 10 is being active and disciplined. And I know that's technically 2, but they go hand in hand because you have to be proactive about your life. You have to be disciplined in the things that you do. You have to be present and intentional and stay on top of the things that really matter. And you run your household like a tight ship. Now, when I say your household could literally just be you. For instance, my household right now is just me. But I am disciplined. I make this bed every morning. I make sure I work out. I make sure I'm active. I make sure I'm well rested. I make sure that I stick to the plan, even when the day does not stick to me. Okay? I'm saying like, hey, oh, wow, this was not really planned for the day, but let me see how I can maneuver my schedule around. Let me see how I can do this. That's still intentional and gets me from point A to point B. But if I say in this household, we eat healthy and we take care of our bodies a certain way, then I do whatever it takes. And I build a system that allows me to maintain a healthy body and lifestyle. Point blank period. You have to be active and you have to be disciplined, proactive, should I say. And last but not least, I really shied away from this one, but she has aligned partners. If you are an it girl, you have to have aligned partners. Like, you cannot just be with no any and every man. Okay, even if it comes to dates, like your presence is quite literally a gift. Your time and your effort and everything, it means a lot. That's why I say, like, even if for me, I run a strict program over here, okay? I'm not in every man's face. Like, I'm not hopping on every date that someone sends me. Like, if I don't like you, or I'm genuinely not interested, I'm not going on this date. If this person is not elevating me to the next level, I'm not taking that date. I'm not giving you time. If he does not have the same qualities, or he's not even better than me, if my man is not better than me in a lot of areas, then no, that's not the leader that I'm looking for. But the man that you choose to be with, or the partner that you choose to spend the rest of your life with, will make a huge impact on the trajectory of your life. I am a firm believer in that. And you have to know what it is that you want and what it is that you're getting. Now that we have gone over the qualities and what it is that you exemplify as you are building your life over these next 90 days, should I say, or for the rest of your life, because this is a lifestyle. The question is, how do I do this? What are the actionable steps that I take to be this woman that I am seeing myself as? And quite honestly, you have to know yourself enough to know what works for me. Just take action. Because for some people, it may be using a whiteboard on a day-to-day. It might be a sticky note. Writing a sticky note and putting the 3 things that you need to do for the day and tackling those 3 things. It might be digital planning or a physical journal. It may even be a combination of all these things, because as you see, I have all of them and I use all of them. But what really is going to do it is setting up a system. So you're going to have to ask yourself, what is it that I want? Who am I going to be? And you're going to work your way back. Because once you see what it is that you want, and then you start seeing what it takes to build what you want, it's going to be, how do I do these things? And a lot of these things are done with your own sass, your own presentation, your own little swag that you got on it. That's when the who comes in. Who do I got to be to do this? And I know you guys hear that 1,000,001 times, but you have to literally wake up and decide. And that's where a lot of the issue comes from. It's because you really haven't fully committed to the decision to not be mediocre. Point blank period. Like, you just have to make the decision to be like, hey, this is who I am and this is what I do on a day-to-day, and just do it. You literally can wake up tomorrow and be like, I'm the kind of person that does this. I'm the kind of person that does that. I stand on my word. One thing is that I've been very intentional about how I use my words and staying true to those, not lying to myself, because the less I lie to myself, the more trustworthy I am, the more I know that this thing is going to get done. So when it's all said and done, you're going to ask yourself, who am I, or who am I working to be? How does she get this thing done, and what it is that she wants? Once you answer those 3 questions based off of those 12 qualities that I gave you, you're literally going to, are you aligned with the right people? Are you aligned with the right places? Are you aligned with the right things? What mindset habits need to be changed? You're going to work your way backwards to filling that gap between where you are now and where it is that you want to be. Now, there's a lot of approaches that you could take to that. And if you guys want me to do a video on how we can approach this and tackle this, please let me know. So I will upload a video, and I'm going to give you a step-by-step guide on how you're going to tackle these next 90 days. But as far as this guide goes, you can take this guide and run with it. Take this guide and run with it. But I'd personally highly recommend start off with a journal. Start off with a digital journal. Especially if you're an iPad girly, maybe get you a digital journal. You can actually get one in the link in my bio. But yeah, so that's all. Those are the qualities that it's going to take to become the woman of your dreams, quite literally. I shall see you later, sis. Love you, and talk later. Well, I already said that, but bye.